Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Princess Lily Lilindla Marumwami. Thank you for joining me today. To my usual subbies, to my regulars, thank you for tuning in, and to anybody who's new here, please subscribe. And to everybody in my community, comment guys, please comment, like, share, just share my videos, and please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe guys. Okay, let's get into it. On friendship. This is a topic that I've been avoiding to do for the most part, because I feel like it is a very sensitive topic, to be quite honest, because friendship is something that we each go through on a regular. We are experiencing friendships, we're experiencing people, and I'm just afraid to speak on this. I would like to say I'm not the authority on this. I'm not the final say. I'm just giving out my thoughts and my feelings and my personal experiences on what happened to me and what I think about the topic of friendship. Please feel free to share your experiences and just tell me what you think. I like the engagement. I love just how some of you would just give me a personal message and just tell me what you thought of the video. I really appreciate that. Okay. So I honestly didn't know where to begin this topic. I remember a time where I have this friend. I consider her one of my really closest friends. In fact, one of my very best friends, Ludo. I think I'll make reference to her for the most part in this video. So I remember this time, a couple of years back, just way before COVID, 2017, 2018 even, I think 2017, she told me how she was not happy with me about something that I had done, and I was really taken aback. I was like, you're not happy with something that I had done? And then anyway, I think I apologized. I hope I did. But then moving forward from there, I remember going away and feeling and thinking, oh my goodness, so I can actually hurt a friend. I can actually make someone who's my friend feel hurt in a way. And this really got me thinking, and it has informed the way that I relate with friendships, the way that I would like to relate with people, because I realize that we take friendships so much for granted. I realize that you can hurt a friend, but you feel like your friend has no right in feeling that way, and this just got me to see that, our friends are really justified in their hurt, and it is up to us to acknowledge that we've hurt them, and that we have to be the bigger person and apologize and change our ways, in as much as when you have a lover, I'm married, if I've hurt my husband, or if we're going through a season where we're not okay, we would seek to do anything and everything possible to make ourselves be okay. A couple of my friends have gone to therapy. We even go through premarital counseling, just so that we're able to relate well with our spouses, with our significant other, with our partners, but we can't do the same for friendship. The same grace that we afford our lovers, we can't do the same when it comes to friendship. And this conversation with Ludo just sort of informed, like I'm saying, the way that I think. I personally wouldn't mind going to friendship therapy. just the other day, I was talking to Ludo again, and we were talking about how there's so much expectation when it comes to friendship, and there's just so much. And this again got me thinking that yes, there has to be so much expectation. We have to hold our friends in high regard and in that accountability, and we have to make sure that in as much as we have to nurture our friendships, right? We were speaking specifically about how sometimes you would go out of your way to be there for your friend, and in you being there for your friend, you are depleting yourself or what you already have. A typical example is your friend tells you, friend, can I please borrow 200 bucks? I'm stuck this week, I don't have fuel. And you have 400 bucks, which is between your fuel, your lunches for that week, and your 400 bucks, and then you give this friend 200 bucks, and you're going to end up starved without fuel or without whatever, and you're going to in a way kind of resent your friend. They're going to be unable to pay you if they are unable to pay you on time. And this video is not going according to plan, so I think I'll just finish it up later. So guys, I just felt like I was a bit derailed and a bit off topic, and I wasn't really speaking on what I really wanted to speak about when it comes to this topic of friendship. So getting back to the conversation, so when I moved here, I had this fear. One of my main fears was that my relationships, in terms of my friendships, were going to suffer. I just felt like all my friends were going to move on, and by the time I got back, I wouldn't have any friends, and it was just so bad that it got to a point that when I met somebody, like when I randomly met somebody and we had a really great connection or great conversation, not even necessarily connection, I'll feel this deep desire to sort of like ask them for their number, for just sort of like trying to be friends with them. And I'm so glad that by the time I'd get home, I would have forgotten the whole thing and I wouldn't even message the person, because it was so random and so weird, and I just felt like it wasn't me. I had to come to a place whereby I was like, why do I think so badly that my friendships are going to suffer? Why do I believe that my marriage, my relationship, I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to, I'm planning this whole schedule of how me and my husband are going to see each other. Like, why can't I put the same effort when it comes to my friendships, And I just realized that generally the conversations that I've been having is that adult friendships are hard when they really shouldn't be. It just takes two parties coming to the table and putting themselves out there and be willing to make the work. My friend Peo likes saying this thing that she feels like for her to consider you friends, she needs to see that the energy is reciprocated, and pardon me. And this energy, I feel, shouldn't only come when it comes to planning dates, when it comes to planning cute little things to do together. It should come in the way we are gracious to each other. It should come in the way that we love each other. It should come in the effort that we put in, just to be in each other's lives. Because I truly believe that friendships are a blessing. Friendships are from God. Jesus had his disciples, he had this whole tribe, and I truly believe in having your tribe and having your people. So when we first got married, I was a bit worried about my husband. I felt like he didn't have like genuine friends around him. He didn't have he did have friends. I just felt that in his daily lives, because his friends and him sort of like had this long distance thing, whereby they weren't living in the same city. So I just started praying for him to have like friends who are around him and who can, be on in his day to day, people, because sometimes, to be quite honest, we need people, that physical contact or that physical interaction is very helpful in that you are able to talk about issues a bit further. You're able to, lay out what's on your day to day a bit further, because this is somebody you'll be seeing on a regular. This is somebody that you can schedule meetups, And I'm so glad that my prayers were answered, and he was, he's fortunately blessed with people like that in his lives. And then this same thought got me thinking that why can't we cultivate and nurture long distance relationships or friendships like we do, the ones that we see on a regular, It just takes that constant communication. I remember a time when we started our first year, and my friend at the time had a friend who wasn't schooling with us, and I remember she used to say to me, I feel like my friendship is suffering because we don't see each other on a regular. And this same thought, was the same thing that has sort of been influencing my fear of having long distance friendships. And then this same thing got me thinking of how the media puts us in an awkward situation, I'll call it that, as women. We're put into this pressure of having like a best friend, of having like a friend clique, and just having like that in our lives. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that ideology, but what I'm saying is that it sort of put this pressure on us, these unrealistic expectations that we put and hold our friends with, that even when our friends, fail or lack somehow, we are not gracious towards them. For example, we grew up watching shows on Disneyland. Hannah Montana, I know she had her best friend, I forgot her name. You'd watch That's So Raven, she had her best friend. You'd watch even The Sweet Life on Deck, those twins had like each other. And okay, I'm talking about girl cliques, but basically that was it. Disney was just preaching to us this whole narrative. If it wasn't like girl best friends, having that one person to go to, it was sort of like a clique, and this clique, no one was allowed to come into this clique, and it's sort of like, if you're a very friendly person, I know I struggled with this a bit because I'm very friendly, and my friends sort of questioned my loyalties. They questioned if I'm truly their friends just because I'm that friendly person, and I realize now that it is because of this narrative that has been preached to us. Of course we have our people, of course we have our tribe. I mean, TD Jakes speaks about having your root people. These are the people, like who hold you down. These are your family. These are the roots, like they make up the tree. Without the roots, you wouldn't have the stem and all that. And then you would have your leaves. Those are seasonal people who would fall off in particular seasons. So I think with my root people, my family, my friends, my really closest friends, they had this struggle that, where do your loyalties lie? And I was like, babies, like, I could be having, that seasonal person. It's not like I would intentionally let them in my space. I would be sharing with them. I'll be vulnerable with them, because honestly speaking, relationships and friendships are different. The way that I'll be vulnerable to one friend is going to be different to the way that I am with another, And I think on my part as well, what I didn't realize at the time was, maybe I wasn't showing my root people that they are my root people, because I know I struggle with this a little bit. It's just being vulnerable, and that's another topic for another day. So this just gets me to the height of my topic or my discussion for today, is that when it comes to friendships, let's just try to be a little bit more gracious. Let us try to be more understanding and more forgiving. Let us exude love. Why do we rush off to cut off our friends, and we're not really listening to them, we're just rushing to be these people who cut off people? It's just that toxic generation nowadays when it comes to friendship, or that toxic conversation when it comes to friendship nowadays. So let us just be cautious, let us just be careful in the way that we think, in the way that we relate to our friends. Let us just be more gracious and more loving, in that sense, and just more accepting of our friendships. I know sometimes I feel like my friends have a problem with my general personality. I remember one friend once said that, imagine somebody saying that, I don't know how, like, you're annoying, you're a deep level of annoying. And that really threw me off, and it really made me shrink. And I didn't communicate it with this person at the time, but I was really hurt by this, because I was like, really, do you really think I'm annoying as a friend, that you feel like you can't have certain conversations with me? So I think the way that we talk to our friends, sometimes we tend to crush them or hurt them when we don't see. And this brings me to my last point: am I a good friend? Just being here, one of my biggest goals, as I said, I'm going on this 6 months journey. I think I do have a whole month dedicated just solely to friendships, just thinking about that and just trying to see where I've gone wrong when it comes to friendships, and just try to reach out to broken relationships, and just so that we are on the clear when it comes to me and my friends, because I really value friendships. I believe that they're really important, and I believe that if nurtured and treated carefully, with the right regard, we're able to have long-lasting relationships. These are the people who are going to be there, helping you raise your children. I know how much I really value my mom's friends for who they are in my lives and the roles that they have played, and I would really, really love that as well for my children and my friends' children, so just thinking back and reflecting, am I really a good friend, and what I can do, ways I can improve on this, so I like to encourage you all to become good friends to your people and to really listen. A big part of friendship is listening. Sometimes we hurt our friends unintentionally. It's just all about listening and validating our friends, showing them that they matter, their feelings matter towards us, they matter to us, the things that they go through, they matter to us, so I really just wanted to have this conversation, because I feel like there's a lot of toxicity when it comes to friendships nowadays. I mean, adulting is proving to be hard to the most of us. The girls in their 30s, the boys in their 30s, we're just struggling. Our older sisters, cousins, friends, they didn't tell us that adulting is so difficult. So I feel like with all the things that are adding to our stresses, be it our jobs and relationships, all of that, let's not add friendship to the equation. Let's just be good people, and let us also receive goodness and kindness, So this is it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this video was so helpful. I hope that you all will take time to reflect back and think back on friendships. How long have your friendships been? How are you as a friend? What do you value? What are your boundaries? Sometimes it is good just to think back, reflect on yourself as a friend. Sometimes boundaries. I spoke about this earlier, that the boundaries that we set, even in ourselves, we don't even uphold this, and then we tend to hate our friends, view them negatively because they didn't respect our boundaries, but your boundaries were not clear to begin with. So let us just actively try to be good people, and pray that God surrounds us with good people in our lives. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. God loves you. Friend, I'd like to take this time to invite you, friend who isn't saved, take this opportunity, to receive Christ as your Lord and Savior. I love you very much, guys. Tune in next time. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, guys. Let's just get this channel to a 200. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah.